Good morning. How y'all doing? Let's try it again. How y'all doing? All right, I like that. I like having that energy from the kids in the room. All right, so I've got two announcements to make today. The first one, in case you're not aware, is that we're having our annual church picnic. It will be today after service. It's at Black Forest Park up north. We'll start serving food around 12 noon. So that's the first. Second announcement is a pretty big one. Manny Pollard is going to be moving into full-time ministry at Alethia. Yeah. So let me testify a little bit of background. I've been ministering with Manny for probably 8 to 10 years. I know Manny's been here for over 10 years, and in all that time, it has been in his heart to be in full-time ministry. And I've gotten to watch over years, over almost a decade, this man's walk. I want to testify a little bit to his walk. Manny's one of the most humble people that I know, by the grace of God. I've watched him not put himself forward. I've watched him wait patiently for the thing that he believed was in his heart, and so now we finally get to see that come to pass. I don't say that lightly. And I'm going to have Manny, where are you at? You come on up here real quick. I'm going to have Manny come up so I can put my arm around him while I say these things. Manny's a brother who everybody here, whether you know it or not, has been touched by the work of this man's hands. The way that he works is behind the scenes. And so there's been many times where I've just been talking to people in the body and, Manny did this or Manny did that. And he's not a man who does this with fanfare. He's not a man who draws attention to these things. But yet, if you begin to dig into the fabric of Alethia and find out about, impacts that are happening in people's lives, a lot has come through this man and his family and his faithful wife, Kim. And so I just want to affirm, I am grateful for the Pollards. I'm grateful for the work that the Lord has done in this man. And I'm grateful to see a faithful worker with a ferocious heart for this body able to now move forward the vision on a full-time basis at this church. So that's a little bit of the background. We've got a couple more things to go with that. Let me get to my notes. Here's part of the reason why. So as bivocational elders, Alethia is a church led by elders, and for the most part, we're all bivocational. At this point, we're all bivocational. One of the challenges that creates is that each of us has family, demanding job, and the care of the church, which often can become overwhelming or can become difficult to move things forward. And so we all came to the understanding that there was a need for somebody on the ground level to be pushing forward the vision practically and keeping us focused so that the church can grow and move forward. So we're deploying Manny to help maintain focus at the operational level and also to help develop and coordinate ministry leaders and volunteers for the benefit of the body of Christ. We've also made some changes in the way decisions are made along with this in order to empower Manny to execute the vision of Alethia on a day-to-day operational level. Alethia remains an elder-led team, so that certainly hasn't changed, but we have given some operational latitude to Manny in his role. Now, when's this happening? This is happening now as we speak. Manny's already transitioning out of his current position, and we plan for him to be fully invested in full-time ministry at Alethia by the end of September. So it's kind of a slow transition that's happening. Obviously, this will impact Kim as well as she continues to labor with him to invest in the growth and the health of Alethia. So I'm going to have Kim come on up too at this point, and then I'm going to let Manny share a couple things on his heart about vision and direction for the role.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Johnny.
Yep.
Appreciate it. And this decision was not taken lightly. All of you know that I don't know how many people have been here since the beginning, but Alethia has been around for almost 10 years. And my wife and I were invited This is Kim and our youngest Brooks, but my wife and Kim and I and our family, at that time we didn't have a family besides us two, were invited to come help plant this church in Colorado Springs, and we called it Alethia. And we started as youth pastors, and that's really all we were focusing on, but at the same time we always had some influence and some understanding of how the church had operated. And naively, when we first got married, I was working in ministry, and we thought we would be full-time at Alethia probably within the first year and a half or two, but that's not exactly how it worked. I picked up a job at Starbucks, worked at Old Chicago, and then worked as a security guard at a high school, which was awesome. But then the Lord was really gracious. We were really praying about being full-time here at Alethia. I don't know, that was 7 years ago, praying about raising support so we could be here full-time just to help and continue to minister. But the Lord had something else in mind. He provided a really wonderful job where I worked at Church Community Builder, or some people here call it CCB. They were a great company to me, and there's no doubt in my mind that He had us there for a lot of reasons. We basically had hands-on education about how the church works in the United States, and just we're very grateful for that time. And every year, Kim and I would be like, man, we want to be in full-time ministry so bad. And it's because of the people here at Alethia. It has nothing to do with us trying to build our own empire. The Lord has quickly smashed that at any point whenever we've thought of it that way. And we're really grateful for that. But we just continue to be praying. And probably a year and a half or two ago, something changed. Something was different. And this is the words that Kim and I have been praying for this whole year of 2019, that the Lord was saying, get ready for a disruption. And what I mean by that is, getting uprooted from a job that I loved and, made a good living at and actually was really successful at. And for us, we were very comfortable. And I think it was right when we got comfortable that the Lord was saying, get ready for this disruption. And it's because we see a lot of potential in the body that the Lord has, brought together over the last 10 years. And if any of you have been here long enough, you know that we've gone through our own pains and struggles, just relationally, as a body, and it's by God's grace that we are still here as a body. If He didn't want it to be, if He didn't want people to be meeting here in Pine Creek High School, we wouldn't be. And so I'm very confident the Lord is not done with us yet. He is just getting started, and so we're really excited that we get to come alongside everybody and be pastors with you. And so that there's a lot of questions that may come into your mind. I would encourage you could stop any elder that you see, stop by and talk with me. Maybe one question that you might have is, does that mean Manny is teaching more often, or is he the lead pastor? The answer would be, no, not really. We are a elder-led team, and this team we're going to continue to allow to lead and cast vision for the church. But what it does mean is that someone can actually steer the ship and take it in a direction where the Lord is leading us. And so there's some excitement there. And I will be teaching a little bit more, but that is not my primary focus. My focus is just to continue to minister to leaders and people that want to maybe grow in their ability to be equipped and to teach and train and lift up teams and lead ministries. And then, of course, there's a shepherding component to that as well. But those are kind of the main focuses that we were really excited about and we've been praying for. And so it's with that, we're just really excited. And I don't think that you will notice a ton of change right off the bat. When you make these big changes to a building and you repaint it and you slice and dice it, you can see those things. We're all about process in our life and just kind of trusting the Lord will continue to guide us. And so what I hope it will do, though, is instill fruit that comes from this body, the fruit that the Lord will be glorified by, and the fruit that will bring more people to find Him. And so, Kim, do you have anything to add? Okay, cool. I think that's all I'm going to share for now. Here you go.
All right, thank you. Right on.